On today's Apple Daily, Apple delists the OG HomePod, Qualcomm's Android chips suffering global shortage, the iMac feature that no one is talking about, plus Notification Squad.
For the latest Apple news, rumors, and leaks, every weekday at 12 UTC, join us in the iCave.
I'm iCave Dave and I simplify Apple so that everything just works for you, and if you want the latest Apple news, leaks and rumours every weekday at 12 UTC normally, but we're doing it at 12:30 at the moment and we'll tell you why in a minute. Like this video, subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss a thing. And when you do ring that notification bell, don't forget to let me know down in the comments using hashtag notification squad so that you can get a shout out in the next video, just like Marcin Kowalczyk, Ikis Films and Robert Ailman. And yes, right now we are doing our videos at 12:30 UTC. That is because at 12 o'clock I have to go and do medicine for my child at school, so unfortunately I can't get to the live chat otherwise, so we're just putting it back a little bit so I can still chat to you guys. Cool. But there is something new that you need to know about, and I will reveal it at the end of this video, so do not click away. Apple delists the OG HomePod. So it's official, the original HomePod is no more, at least it will be when Apple sells out the remaining stock that it has on the shelf. Apple's own statement reads, HomePod Mini has been a hit since its debut last fall, offering customers an amazing sound, an intelligent assistant, sort of, and smart home control, all for just $99. We are focusing our efforts on HomePod Mini. We're discontinuing the original HomePod. It will continue to be available while supplies last through Apple Online Store, Apple Retail Stores, and Apple Authorized Resellers. Apple will provide HomePod customers with software updates and service and support through Apple Care. Now, the grey models are already out of stock with Apple, but can be found at third parties, but its removal from the range is a bit of a shame. There were many people who thought perhaps the range would expand further, but it seems that, at least for now, HomePod Mini, does it even still need to be called Mini if it's the only one, is flying solo. No using a pair of HomePods in stereo and Minis for surround sound on the horizon, I guess. But if the HomePod does return, I would love to see it include both regular Bluetooth and wired sound options too. One of my biggest gripes is that I wanted to use the HomePod Mini as a speaker for my Mac Mini when it arrived, but because of the lag with the audio on it, it would be impossible to edit videos on, and stopping and starting YouTube videos, even that just had like a second of lag at least. So I'd love to have the sound quality, but it's not really practical for day-to-day computing. Qualcomm's Android chips suffer global shortage. Qualcomm is having trouble keeping up with demand in 2021 as Huawei's US sanctions leave a vacuum to be filled by other companies. As a result, more pressure is on Qualcomm to produce more mid to low tier chips, and there are also concerns around the Snapdragon 888 being constrained too, which means Samsung might have to settle for using their own branded Exynos chips with worse performance all round for some of their own Galaxy line. Right now though, this is great news for Apple, who've been riding high on a wave of better than expected iPhone 12 sales, even if the cheapest iPhone 12 mini failed to excite consumers as expected, but the higher end Pro models are absolutely flying. Because Apple designs their own processors, which are made on contract by TSMC, they're not affected by these shortages, although Apple does use and plans to continue to use Qualcomm's 5G modems, at least for the next year or so. But they did buy Intel's modem business, so they could have their own on the way too. These global chip shortages, however, may result in new fabs being built in the USA and other locations, reducing the reliance on East Asia as the hub for silicon production. The iMac feature that no one is talking about. Following the iMac Pro being discontinued, the 21.5-inch iMac losing certain build-to-order options, and the LG ultrafine displays being removed from Apple stores, it looks very much like iMac is soon to be getting the Apple Silicon treatment. In addition to the expected new colours, M1X performance processor with double the performance cores and double the GPU cores, and of course the iPad Pro style redesign, could there be another huge change to the iMac that I don't think anyone's mentioned yet? Now, I posted a joke graphic on Twitter on Sunday about how everyone seems to want the iPad to run macOS, so I wondered what would happen if the iMac took a page from the iPad's book and got a portrait-oriented display. And if you're going to do that, you might as well go touchscreen, get rid of the trackpad, the mouse, and just type on the screen too, right? So it was a lot of fun. I talked about how perfect it would be for editing TikTok videos, Instagram stories, and YouTube shorts. But actually, I got to thinking. A lot of people do actually like vertical displays, but most of them have them as a secondary display because they're not great for everything. But the Pro Display XDR has already solved this. It's designed to rotate from horizontal to vertical and back.
Allowing for even greater adjustability, the display works in both landscape and portrait orientation.
So, why has no one talked about the iMac maybe doing that? Now, let me be clear, this is all speculation here, but I think it's grounded in a decent possibility, and it changes what the iMac will look like too. If it's going to have a display that can rotate, it will need to sit higher from the desk than the current version, although erasing the chin from the design will definitely help with that. So if when the event invites come out, not for next week, but more likely for the April event that we assume will happen, if the tagline is anything about a revolution or turning heads or a new perspective, don't be surprised if we see that feature in the new iMacs. What do you think? Could we see a landscape to portrait iMac, and would that interest you? Leave me your thoughts down in the comments. Now, iCave answers. We have to have a conversation.
Your Apple questions answered. It's iCave Answers with iCave Dave.
A week or so ago, I was asked what we'd do if the questions got too much, and part of the answer to that is here today. iCave Answers is spinning off into its own show at 1800 GMT. This might be daily, it might be a few times a week, it depends on how many questions we have, and I'll include some in the main show too from time to time. But in today's iCave Answers, we will be talking about when will the Apple event announcement happen, talking sponsorships, AirPods Max for audio files, iMac leaks, how my 4K Mac Mini setup works, Apple Watch music handoffs, and upgrading older iMacs. So if that interests you, any of those topics, then smash the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss it, because I know it's a new time, and we'll have the live chat going during the premiere for that as well. And if you've got a question you would like answered in a future video, please leave it down in the comments with hashtag iCaveAnswers, and I'll see you there.